feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, Cardinals dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard, for your mom to your pops to the bees to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Come on now, let's go.
Here we go. 21. Here we go.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. 3rd play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Garoppolo looks to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. This is Kenyon Drake, the 4th-year man from Alabama. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well timed there by Richard Sherman. A sack on the corner blitz.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. Murray going to throw. Screen play. Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Garoppolo now. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 26. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Well, the Cardinals last year, of course, struggled 3-13, but 2 of their 3 wins came against these 49ers. In fact, the Cardinals have beaten the Niners 8 consecutive times. Last time San Fran beat Arizona was 2014. And remember, these are clubs that meet twice a year. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Murray now to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 11. This is Breida. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
It's a gain of 34.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Ready?
58, come on. 58, come on.
12, now here we go.
Let's go.
Hey, cut.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brooks Reed was able to find his way to the QB.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
21. Here we go.
What we got?
Hey, Delta.
Play action. Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 15-yard line.
Okay, just like that.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this 1st half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive 1st half to get that lead. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eric Armstead providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Here we go, here we go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a couple, Garoppolo eluding the pressure right. He'll run it, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It certainly wasn't one of the more conventional plays ever run, but it gained a first down, and they got the ball in the hands of a playmaker.
Here we go.
Mike, 58, right there.
They go play action here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. First down, Murray. And he hits Drake. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They'll run with Drake. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Kill. Check 9.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation, pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Slam. Check.
Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Murray. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 37. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray, that ball complete to Isabella. Well, several media outlets thought Andy Isabella was the top receiver in this year's class out of UMass. He dominated his senior year there. 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns. They really say that he can just take a top off a defense. He ran a 4.31 40 at the Combine, 3rd fastest of all attendees. And then he was taken 62nd. A lot of experts think he was a major bargain with loads of potential. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
At the 16-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Give me that ball, defense.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Let's go, boys, bring it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing is Murray on third down, and that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Garoppolo out wide here to Samuel. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
Here we go. Like 80.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 46. They run with Breida. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now it's Breida. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Check 13.
Running, it's Drake. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Murray off play action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season?
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, eluding the tackle. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. To throw again on second down. Murray, Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's Mostert, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Niners on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Gets this one to use check. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Murray now on 1st down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Watch out.
Running from the shotgun with Dre. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line.
Here we go.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play.
And now look at him go. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. Past the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.